جايين من كل مكان للصويرة زينة البلدان زوروا ونرجع فرحان كالضبيل وللهيلولة حط السلاح حطوا محيلة نضربوا شوفار الليلة.
Happy to be with you this morning, only for a few hours today. And we are a few weeks before Shavuot. And as you know, the Parsha of this week, the Parsha talk about how much emunah we should have on Hashem. To have emunah on Hashem, it's not when you have everything. To have emunah on Hashem is, as we said every day in the Tefillah, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך, בכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. You have to love Hashem with no limit. With all your soul, your body, sacrifice, with your money. Even if you have to spend a lot of money for the mitzvot, you have to spend them. Because anyway, the money that you have, it belongs to Hashem. So you don't do favor to Hashem, you do a favor to you. The more you give, the more you get. A lot of people are crazy. They think, waste money for Pesach, waste money for a pair of tefillin, waste money for Shabbat, waste money for the Chagim. People, they don't realize how much money they waste for when they travel, for their holidays, for their weddings, for their bar mitzvot, for their cars, for their buying houses. For this, people, it's normal. But when it comes for Hashem, to give tzedakah, or to spend money for Shabbat, etc., people are a little bit crazy. They forgot the pasuk that said, Kili kol haaretz, the pasuk of this week. ממש כלי הארץ, כי גרים ותושבים אתם עמדי. Hashem, he said in the Parsha, you are only strangers in this world. A stranger, because the olam, the world belong to me. So don't think what you have, it's yours. Nothing is yours. Everything is mine. It's just because you don't have much emunah on me, you think all what you have, it's yours. But nothing belongs to you. Have you seen somebody who passed away or died, that he took with him something? Nothing. So that means that he has nothing. He came with nothing, and he go with nothing. You know, when a baby born, he born with the hand open. Why his hand is open? Because when the baby born, and he see the word, he want everything. He open his hand. But when people die, their hand is closed. Why it is closed? They talk nothing. They go with empty hand. They came. I saw my uncle. I did that experience with my uncle 40 years ago. He passed away with his hand closed. I tried to open his hand. It was very difficult to open his hand. So you see, this is the passage. Now this is the reason why the Torah talk about Shemitah, that talk about Shabbat. You have to respect Shabbat. Hashem is to teach you that nothing belongs to you. Hashem said, keep Shabbat. All week you can work. Shabbat you don't work. During 6 years you work your lands, but the seventh year you don't work your land. It's Shemitah. You have to be quiet. You're not allowed to enter to do work there. Maybe you might ask a question: if I don't work the land during the 7th year, what I'm going to eat a year later? Have emunah on Hashem. Kadosh Baruch Hu will. I was yesterday when I was going to the airport. I saw a field of trees, and it said there, the fruit here are kosher, I keep Shemitah. I was happy. I keep Shemitah. It was a big land. Big land. With thousands of trees. It said there, I keep the Shemitah. That means that the year of the Shemitah, I don't sell the fruit. The fruit are abundant. Anyone who wants them, you can go and get them. Can you imagine that? Who can do that? Imagine somebody who has millions of trees, of orange, of apples, and the year of the Shemitah, he's not allowed to do business with them. He just abandoned them. Anyone who wants them, he can go and take whatever. See, you must have a big bitachon on Hashem to do that. Who can do the Yovel? The Yovel is real estate. If you sell your house, after 50 years, you have to give it back to the one who sold it to you. Who can do that? So no one will do real estate. No one will buy lands because who will buy a land knowing that after 50 years he had to give back the land to the one that he sold him the land? It's impossible. Who can do that? Hashem wants to teach you, hey, nothing is yours. This is the idea of Hashem. This is the real emunah. The emunah of Hashem, it comes only when Hashem, He gives you to do some experience on yourself. And then you will realize, oh, that this is the after. Every day, we say to Hashem, I love you. So Hashem, He says, you love me? Well, let's do an experience. Let's see if you keep Shabbat. Let's see if you keep the Shemitah. Let's see if you keep the Yovel. You do that? So, I know that you believe on me. But if you don't do that, you are a liar. You say 3 times, 4 times a day, I love you, but you don't love me. So Akash Baruch Hu, a lot of times He gives us some kind of to test ourselves. The Gemara said that the Beit HaMikdash, the first one, was destroyed because he did not keep the Shemitah. Because he did not keep the Shemitah. And as you know, always there is this number of 7. Shabbat is the 7th, Bayom HaShvi'i, the day of the 7th. When we do Sfirat HaOmer, we count 7 weeks. 49 days, 7 weeks. Shemitah, 7 days. The Yovel, 7 times 7. 49. And as well, always there is this number 7 coming. Always 7, number 7. The question is, why 7? Why the number 7? And I was thinking that the reason why Hashem always used the number 7 because there is 7 skies, Shiv'ari Ke'im, and Hashem is in the 7th sky. So that means that when we use Hashem, He use the number 7. That means if you keep always all what Hashem asks you to do after 7 days, and even the woman, she's needed 7 days. She must count 7 days to go to the mikveh. Always this number of 7 come up. Always 7, 7, 7. The answer, and even a lot of rabbis they try not to ask this question. But my idea was Hashem is the Olam HaShvi'i. 7, there is Shiv'ari Ke'im. There is 7 skies. And Hashem is in the 7. That means when you keep what Hashem asks you to do, you connect yourself directly with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I cannot go very deep into this, but this is the emet. This is the emet. I would like just to tell you that there is a beautiful midrash, a fabulous midrash. It said that one day a king was looking for his daughter that she was lost. He was looking for her. It's a beautiful midrash, and she was lost. And then some people kidnapped the daughter of the king, and she was made, in the house. Until she forgot that she was a princess, the daughter of the king. And after a lot of years, the king was looking. He said to himself, the king, I have to go myself to look for her. It's impossible. My daughter, I have only one. I must find her. a mass man. So he started to go everywhere to look for the queen, for the princess. One day from far away, he saw in a field a girl, a woman. And she was like a compagnard. She was like from the...
Peasant.
It was like a maid, you know. She was working in that garden, but he saw the way she was working. She had the protocol of a princess, and she looked a little bit like the mother. He said, "This is the." So she was with some ladies that were working in the field, and he called her by the name. She looked at him. He told her, "You are my daughter." And he said, "Come with me." And he took his daughter with him. So before she left, she invited all her friends that were made with her. Well, I'm a princess. I invite you tomorrow or the few days go to the palace. We make a party. So they came to the palace and they asked her, why the king, he choose only you? Why didn't he choose us? So the princess said, well, I don't know. If I don't understand why he choose me, I don't know. So it was like a mystery. The Midrash ended by telling even Am Israel, when Hashem liberated the Bnei Israel from Egypt, the Goyim said, the Umot HaOlam said to Bnei Israel, why Hashem? He give you the liberty. Why not us? So Am Israel answered, we don't know. It's a surprise. We don't know why only Hashem chose us. When I was reading this Midrash, I did not understand. The queen, the princess, when they asked her why the king did he give you the liberation, why he took you with him, she said, I don't know. She should answer, because I am his daughter. What a question. She said, I don't know. And when the Goyim, with the Umot HaOlam, with the nation, asked the Jews, why Hashem choose you to give you liberation from Egypt, they said, we don't know, we are surprised, we don't know. You should answer, because we are the chosen people, because we are the descendants of Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, and Hashem promised them that after X years in Egypt, He will give us the freedom. What a question? Understand the question? What we don't know? You know, my friend, this week I was very, very angry against somebody. Very religious. He was in the yeshiva. Married. Children. Grandfather. Very religious. Very, very religious. I heard he is with a Goya. I heard that he left his wife and he is with a Goya. Here in America. I'm going to see him today. I called him. I called him last time from the airport, from Ben Gurion. I told him, why you did that? Why you did that? Well, Rabbi, has no answer. But I have an answer. He had no, you know what he said? He said, well, it's Sarah. But it's Sarah? So, go back to your wife. Leave the Goya. No, it's finished. No, I can't. Why that? He had no answer for me, but I told him the answer. I said, you know why he did that? Because he stopped studying Torah. That's what the Parsha said, "V'im b'chukotai telechu." Not only to study Torah. Study Torah, everyone study Torah. Who does study Torah? But put an effort when you study Torah. The same effort you do for the money. To make money, you do a lot of effort. Once I traveled 15,000 kilometers for $26,000. I did 3 days. For this, I did an effort. For money, we do effort. Do you do that for Hashem? That's why Hashem said, it's not enough for you to study Torah. And then next parasha of next week is Bamidbar. That means you have to compare your body as a desert. In desert there is nothing. You can't invest money in desert. There is nothing to invest. You will not live in desert. There is nobody to talk to. There is nothing in the desert. Yet you have to abandon your body. That means your body only for Hashem. You have to use it only for Hashem. You can enjoy yourself, but don't enjoy only for yourself. If you do only for yourself, you should know once you die, you take nothing with you. You only take yourself with nothing else. Nothing else. And this is that's what I told him last night. I said, hey, Jack, you know why you do that? Because you don't study Torah be'amal. Anyone who don't study Torah be'amal, with effort, I will wake up in the morning to study Torah. I will do, I have a time. I will do effort to, that's why I should ask for us a lot of effort to do Shabbat, Shemitah, Yov. It's demand a lot of effort to keep Shabbat. On Friday, you are making money, you work, hey, you have to stop 2 hours before, go home, help your wife for Shabbat, leave everything. A lot of times people, I'm sorry to tell you this, I respect people who respect their wives, but for me it's not enough. If they don't help the wife on Friday before Shabbat, they're no good. They must help. They must help. They must finish 2 hours before, 3 hours before, come home, help, prepare the Shabbat. Shabbat, it needs an effort. The Shemitah, it needs an effort. To keep the Yovel, it needs an effort. And to have effort to respect Shabbat, effort to respect Yom Tov, effort to respect, if only if you study Torah. If there is no Torah, you will have the effort missing. When you make the effort to keep an hour a day to study Torah, and leave everything, and you are tired, yes, but for something else, you are not tired. And for the Torah, you are tired. Okay? You don't want effort for me, Hashem, he said, I will not make an effort for you as well. That's why we have problems. Early this morning, at 4 o'clock in the airport, somebody came, he wanted the bracha, a lot of problems. I asked him just one question. You came to see me for a bracha. Where is the keeper? I'm sorry. So how do you want Hashem to do effort for you? For things that are easy, if you have a brain in your head, I'm going to see a rabbi at 4 o'clock to ask him a bracha, at least get a kippah on your head. At least a kippah on your head. So, if already he doesn't think about that, how can he think about other things? So, you see, this is that, I think, when the nations, when they ask the Jews, why Hashem choose you? Why didn't choose us? Why he give you freedom? Why didn't he give us the freedom? They said, we don't know. What do you mean you say don't know? Because you are, you know why they say we don't know? If the Jews, when they left Egypt, they were surprised. they ask themselves, but what zichut we have to be liberated? We don't have the Torah. We are just the same like the Goyim. We are the same like the nations. That's what they say. We don't know why Hashem chose us. But really Hashem chose them because he wanted to give them the Torah. But for them, they were surprised. Be'emet. Ele of the Avodah Zarah. They were idolatry. The nation were idolatry. The same way that they did not study Torah, the nations. Them said they did not study Torah. They understood that they have no zechut. That's why they answered, we don't know. But today, if they ask me, hey, Rabbi, why Hashem delivered, he give you freedom from Egypt? I will ask him, because he gave me the Torah. I have the Torah. I study the Torah. Things that you don't have. Now, we understand that maid, that they ask her, why the king, why he choose you, why didn't choose? And she said, I don't know. She said, I don't know. Why she said she didn't know? She could answer, well, because I am his daughter. Yeah, but at the time that she was a maid, she was not his daughter. So she was clever. She said, I don't know. That means, my friend, when we don't serve Hashem, we don't have the title to be the son of Hashem. The Torah said, Banim atem l'Hashem Elokechem. You are the children of Hashem. When you are the children of Hashem, if you act like a child, between a child and his father, he respects his father. So you are the ben, you are the child of Hashem. But if you don't respect Torah and mitzvot, you don't have the zechut to be the child of Hashem. You don't have the zechut. That's why, unfortunately, today, one day, in the United States, they are against us. One day, they are for us. One day, this. But if you see the majority of the world today, we don't have friends. I'm sorry to tell you this, we don't have friends nowhere. Nowhere. It's like in Turkey. Turkey, after a lot of years that they were friends, they were with Israel, then they become enemy against Israel, suddenly they meet peace, and last week they start to criticize again Israel. You see, one day yes, one day no, one day there. You know why? It's our fault. When we act like a good Jews, with Hashem, so Hashem is the Father. The Father is protect you, His Son. But when Has Shalom we don't act as a good son toward Hashem, the Father, so Hashem closed a little bit his eyes. But he closed his eyes, look at me all, like that. He closed without closing. Because if really he closed, it's finished for us. It's like he showed us that he closed. It's like when the house, the children do something bad, we don't see them. Like that. But I watch. So this is Rabotai in the Parsha this week. The Parsha this week is that we should, all of us, know Ki kol haaretz. The word belongs to Hashem. And because the word belongs to Hashem, so Hashem he has a title to ask you, do Shabbat. Don't work Shabbat. Well, I have to make money. Oh, it's my olam. If I want to give you parnasa, give you parnasa. If I don't want to give you parnasa, I will not give you parnasa. Keep Shabbat. Whoa, Shemitah. The year of 7 years, I will not, I have to have better. Yes, do it. How can I do it? It's mine. Hashem said, it's mine, the land is belongs to me. So I ask you, the Yovel, after 7 years, after 7 times, the Shemitah, after 49 years, I have to give back all the land that I bought. How can I do that? I'm going to lose money. You lose money? What money? It's my land. Hashem answered. But the Tzara will make full of you. He will tell you, it's crazy the Torah. What the Torah said from Hashem, it's crazy, it's not true. But if you do Amalah Shel Torah, if you study Torah with effort, only through effort you can beat the Tzara. Look at if you look at me, all of you, please. If you pray like that, slowly, you fall asleep. You are already tired, and if you pray like that, half asleep, you will sleep. But if you move, if you pray and by moving, you will not sleep. You will not sleep because your body is moving. Effort is you move. When you study Torah with effort, you will not fall asleep. You will keep all the mitzvot. Otherwise, you will fall asleep. And that when the next parasha, it's Bamidbar, desert. That me and Hashem, we want, look at, like if you are in the desert, even if you are a billionaire, you have the whole city belong to you. Imagine that you are in the desert. You have no city, you have no band, you have nothing. By thinking like that I have nothing, everything belongs to Hashem, so all the rest will go smoothly now with Hashem. No, Shakash Baruch Hu will give you Baruch Haba. I will see you, I don't know when, but maybe for the wedding of this gentleman. You need to lose a little bit of weight and to dance well in the chuppah. And Be'ezat Hashem, don't forget, in 2 weeks, it's Matan Torah. So prepare yourself for Matan Torah. And Be'ezat Hashem, when you prepare, you get. If you don't prepare, you don't get nothing. If you want to get the Torah, Kabbalat Torah, to get it, to receive the Matana, you have to prepare. Without preparing, you will. But if Hashem is see that Be'emet you prepare, you do a good Sfirat HaOmer, and Be'emet you want, so Hashem will give you.
نضو يا ناس غرتو على ربيع حيم